Hello everybody, welcome to the Freak Show. I am SimFreak and I got a race that I hope all of you will enjoy. I truly believe that this race is one of the best ones I've ever had, but from the perspective of two other drivers, they really have a problem with me. So watch till the end and let me know what you think. It was quite the battle in qualifying, but the main struggle was between myself and three other drivers, but I got my first ever pole position with a 202.837. My main competitors in this one seem to be Kirk in P3, Rich in P2, and KS in P4. I could not believe I was starting on the front row, especially in P1. It seemed to me like I could achieve my first ever win. And right off the bat, KS makes a move on Rich so that he can move up to P2. I'm in the fight with KS, and I know that I can win this battle if I just brake late into turn 1. But I also become aware of Kirk in the Lexus making a move on the inside. I could not ask for anything else. I am still P1 and I have no damage. Let's take a look at the replay for race start. On board with Rich, we see that KS makes a move on the inside. A great launch. On board with Kirk, we can see that I'm fighting KS. KS brakes a little early, Kirk takes a look on the inside, and I keep them both at bay, and I get great exit speed going out of turn 2 and turn 3. For your information, I am not a polished driver yet. I still make massive mistakes, probably about 8 mistakes per race. And I'm just happy I made a really good first lap. I'm still first place. And I am focusing on a safe race, but very competitive, and to make sure that I don't make contact with other drivers. But at the same time, I am going to compete. I am going to put my elbows out. And I was really hoping that the other drivers were going into this race with the same mindset. And here we are, the battle continues with KS going into the final turn of lap 1. He takes the inside line, but I keep some good space between myself and him. And I'm just still pushing, still looking to maintain that first place, but he's not making it easy, and I don't expect him to. Turns out he's got more speed than I do. He's got the inside line, so I think I have to concede. Kirk almost hits me, has to move off track to make sure that he does not take both himself and I out of this race. He just missed his braking point there, but I'm going to keep my eye out for him. By the end of lap 2, I know that I have the same pace as KS. I know that I can hold back Kirk. My concern isn't whether or not I'm fast enough. My concern is whether or not someone is going to take me out. And I really have to watch out for some kind of a dive bomb. But looking here, while I'm trying to look out for if someone's going to dive bomb me, I end up missing my braking zone. This is my first big mistake of the race. And I'm like, that's my bad. I really did not mean to do that. I want to compete with you, but I'm going to do it in a manner that is extremely safe for both our sake. So I do not want to dive bomb like crazy. If I'm going to do that, I'm going to make it very, very obvious. I'm well aware of what I did into turn 1 has affected how KS looks at my racing. And if you take a look at my lines right here, I am being a pest behind KS. He is worried. He's taking a slightly different line to make sure he defends. And I can tell Kirk is behind trying to take advantage of that as well. But I am trying to be a pest to KS. I'm trying to make my braking zones exact. I'm going to earn that overtake whenever it happens. And if Kirk's going to overtake me, he's going to earn that as well. At this point in the race, I'm very happy that there are 3 of us competing for the top step. It is just a great competition. I am loving this. KS brakes a bit too early into turn 1, and I believe that this might be a normal behavior from him, and I'm expecting that from now on. It should not catch me off guard, and eventually I might be able to take advantage of it. On board with Kirk now, and you can see both KS and I are battling, and Kirk is lurking in the background as I carry a little bit too much speed into that turn, go a little bit off track, and I know that he's pulling up, but he's got plenty space. He can have 2 tires inbound, so I kind of push Kirk, tell him, hey, this is my battle, leave me alone. That turn coming up is not a great place to go side by side, so don't even try that. Leave KS and I alone, and you can take the scraps. Just leave me alone. But I can tell that he's doing the same thing to me that I am to KS. He is being a pest. But it's clear to me now that Kirk is not willing to be patient, as he does an intentional dive bomb on me into turn 1, and I'm not really happy with it. I don't like it when people do intentional dive bombs. I didn't even see him on my radar until last second. I see him on the right side, I give him space, but then on the exit, I'm just like letting him know I'm not really happy with that. So I do an intentional dive bomb. Don't do to me what you don't want done to yourself. And look at that, he spins out, and it looks like I'm free to battle with KS. Nothing but eyes forward from here on out. I am targeting KS. I carry plenty of speed out of turn 7 into turn 8. He leaves the door open, and we go side by side on the exit. I can't keep as much traction as I want. I end up making a little bit of contact, and we're going side by side into turns 9, going into turn 10, and I end up losing the rear, make a little bit of contact with KS again, and I feel like a ridiculous idiot because I end up pushing a little bit too much gas, and I am now 3rd place behind another Porsche, no longer competing against just KS and I. But let's take a look at that replay where Kirk does an intentional dive bomb. You can tell his trajectory is aimed right at the apex of the corner, and like I said, I do not like intentional dive bombs when you are way back. It's just not a move I like. It looks great on TV when you're a spectator, but when you're racing, it's ridiculous. So I pull the same move on him, and I say, if you don't like it, don't do it. If you don't like it, don't do it. And here we are, the onboard with Kirk coming out of turn 4. Too much gas, a little bit too much input on the wheel possibly, and Kirk spins out. He is no longer competing for a podium. Let's jump forward a little bit in time at the end of the next lap. 17 minutes left in the race. I am still behind the Porsche. I'm not really able to make too much of a dent in the gap that I have, but at this point, I know that I've made quite a few mistakes, and I just really want to get a podium now. I was looking for a win, but now I'm looking for a podium. So the Porsche makes a defensive move. I'm on the outside, but I see that he moves inside, brakes a little bit too early, and I just take advantage of the door that he leaves open. I didn't even want to make this move. I didn't want to make this dive bomb, but if you're gonna leave the door open, it's not that I wanted to make the dive bomb, it's that you left it open and you're gonna make me slower if I don't take it. So here I am, turn 4, I am back in 2nd place, 2.8 seconds behind KS. I am back in the fight for a potential win. A few laps later, and my nemesis of the race, the one that's in between me and my first ever race win, starts making mistakes. For about 4 laps, I have not been able to make that much of a dent in the gap, but he starts making these mistakes. On this lap, he ends up out of turn 10 right here, puts a little bit too much gas, and starts kicking out the rear. I gain a little bit of time, about 1/10, 2/10 of a second. I'm just noticing KS is making mistakes. He might be nervous. I know I'm nervous. I might end up with my first win. This could be his first win. I don't know. It's just that I noticed that KS was being perfectly fine for the last 4 laps, no mistakes, but now KS is starting to take this turn wide. Taking turn 13 wide, and I am 1.2, 1.3 seconds behind. And I know I can get the job done if I can get that slipstream into turn 1, get that slipstream into turn 4, get that slipstream into turn 11, make a good pass on KS. I know that I can win this race. I just really want it to be done correctly. I want to make sure that when I overtake him, it's not an accidental move like I had to with the Porsche behind me. I want it to be an earned pass, an earned win. This is all that I can dream of for this race. A converted pole position into a race win. Here we are at the end of Sector 1, what could be the 3rd to last lap, and KS goes slow into turns 5, 6, and 7, allowing me to be within 1 whole second, and I know I could take advantage of it right here. Turn 8, KS goes wide. KS goes wide. I take advantage, but both of us lose traction going out of turn 8, and here we are going side by side into turns 9 and 10 again. I do not want to make the same mistake as I did before, and I end up making sure that I don't. I do not make the same mistake before, and I'm here looking for the win, no mistakes. I'm looking for the win with no mistakes, and I'm right here competing for the W. I am so excited. I am so pumped. Right here, letting him know that I am his pest once again. He is my nemesis. I am his nemesis. It is on at this point. At the end of that lap, here we go, going into turn 1 again, and right here KS brakes early again, and I have to avoid to the inside, an unintentional dive bomb. But KS gets good rotation, good exit velocity out of turns 2 and turns 3, and here he goes, taking it side by side, going on the straight, leading into turn 4, pushing me on the inside, and he concedes a little bit so that he can trade that off for some good traction, exit speed out of turn 4, side by side again, and then he's first place and I'm second again. We're trading places on the second to last lap. It is now a fight to the end. We are not concerned whether or not we're going to get third. It is first or second place from here on out. Second to last lap is almost done, leading into turns 14 and 15. I want great exit speed coming out of here because I want to take advantage of turn 1 here, and I get it. I am right behind KS, getting that slipstream. It is all or nothing on this last lap. It is KS versus me going into turn 1. He is defending the inside line. I move to the left a little bit. Here we are going into turn 1. KS is in the wall. KS goes into the wall. And there I am exiting turn 3 free and clear. First place, last lap in this race. All I need to do is take it to the flag, take it to the finish line. And here is the replay. KS lags out and he ends up hitting the barrier. No contact between KS and I. he just lags out. And as you can see on the rear view camera, I'm taking that slipstream. There is plenty of space between him and I. He lags out and just hits the barrier. It is such a shame. While I am racing, I am just saying to the screen, that is such a shame. It has been such a great fight. It should have lasted all the way to the line. But while I'm going around the track one last time, knowing that I'm going to go with the win, I can see that the Porsche behind me has a 10-second time penalty. I know that as long as I can finish the next lap 14 seconds faster than this Porsche, I have the win. And while trying to drive safely, I end up losing my rear end on turn 11, making myself look ridiculous one last time before I take the final third sector all the way to the finish line. As long as I can keep the Porsche within 10 seconds in front of me, I have the win. Even though Kirk in the Lexus has been saying in the game chat that it would be hilarious for someone to take the Porsche out in second place just because he was upset he spun out on turn 4 and could no longer compete for a podium. And also KS completing in the game chat saying that he thinks that I should not win this race. I am victorious, leaving turn 15, about to cross the finish line for my first win in Le Mans Ultimate. Victorious.